How did you do in the earlier TT? I did pretty well, especially considering the openings I was playing. I played 3 Stafford Gambits and 2 Halloween Gambits. I had some other fun openings too. There's one game I won with this London trap in like 8 or 9 moves. So I think what I'll do is I'll play some warm-up games, try and raise my rating, get closer back to 2800. I did update my profile picture too. I was in the process of doing it last stream and then I got distracted by chess. But this is a new profile picture. Last stream I was showing the process of how I basically screen record myself making faces and then I capture a freeze frame and then bring it into Photoshop, crop it, do some color correction, camera raw filter. Anyway, let's play some blitz. Oh, I played this opponent a lot. We've played so many times. Do they want to play again? Game will auto... Okay. We have a game. Oh no, I've fallen for a trap. Knight d5 I think is possible. Opponent doesn't play it though, which is good. G4. Oh, I've looked at this before. I have no memory of what to do. I feel like we've had the same position before at some point. Okay. I'll probably end up castling. I like the position. Threatening b4 now. That was maybe a small mistake. I'll have knight f5. b4. I could take. Take and then b4. Pawns are rolling. And this is a pretty heavenly position. I might be threatening this move, like this and then queen b2. It's a crazy idea. It might allow queen b3. I could play queen b3 here. If takes, my pawns are so strong. Rook b8. Calculation is takes on a3 and then rook a8. Thank you, Mandalorian. I'm hitting the queen. Game goes on. c2. Rook b1 is coming. About this. Rook b1 c2. And if takes, I just take back. It's still not over. Not my time, too.
Kaboom.
To blunder there. Oh no. I might lose this. Opponent tried to dirty flag me, but was not aware of my pre-move skills. Let's go. Okay. That was an unexpected finish to the game. Yeah, white was, I guess, trying to avoid threefold. But yeah, king c5 just gives away the game, basically. And I managed to pre-move, I think, every single move through the end. Like, I had 5 seconds here. Wait, how is this possible? Oh, I guess this is possible, because I made 8 moves in 1 second. The game ended with 4 seconds. So that was the first game of the stream. I feel like I need to like cool down after that one. There is a moment in this opening. Yeah, knight takes d5. I've analyzed this before because I've had the same position against the same opponent where I blundered this. b6 is just not a good move. I think here, like if I want to get this set up, maybe I can start with b6 and then bishop b7 and just delay knight d7. And okay, opponent went for this quick g4. I feel like we've had this position before as well. I got a nice, really nice position. Engine says castling or b5. But somehow I struggled to actually win smoothly. White kept resisting. Okay. Yeah, there was this moment, where was it? I guess in this position, like I was kind of dreaming of this idea, queen b2, which is actually the top engine move here. Sack the queen, and if takes, king b1, this would be mate. That's a fun mating idea. So, we'll play a few more games before the tournament starts. I was playing a lot of Staffords earlier during Title Tuesday. Here we have, what's this called? McDonnell attack? 57. Already out of prep. I may have just allowed e5. There. Oh. Not sure what to do here. What to do? E5 take.
Eric Pesto.
Really not sure what to do. Scared of knight g5. I burned a lot of time. Thank you, small cap. I'm in some trouble. A lot of trouble. How many pre-moves can I make? Ah. Okay, what to do? Yeah, the opening. I burned a lot of time here. I found a decent move. I wanted to play e5. And then I couldn't quite figure out the line. Takes, knight g4, knight c4. With white threatening h3. Well, there's knight d4. I have rook takes e4. Ah. Okay, so e5 is playable. h6 is also playable. Positions around equal. I think I made a very big mistake playing f5. Let's get to this moment. Yeah, f5 is just too weakening. I thought I'm fixing white's pawns on dark squares, but in reality I'm creating my own weakness. And there's no way to defend this and this. Okay. Let's do a few more. I see the question from Metalhead. Good luck in the tournament. I just moved to St. Louis. Any club recommendations? Yeah, go check out the St. Louis Chess Club. Like the premier chess club in the country and in the world. I think St. Louis is like officially the capital of chess in the US. They have weekly classes and tournaments and different events. Also check out the World Chess Hall of Fame. It's a 3-story chess museum. A lot of rotating exhibits. Yeah, this is already uncomfortable for black. The queenside down to g7. And I guess c6 is playable. I have queen c7. Knight develops. Let's castle. I want to go for e4. Open the center. Probably only slightly better here, but still comfortable. May have missed this move. This is a move. Yeah, it's a triple discovered fork. Oh, it's made in 2. Queen b8 is coming. I thought I'm just winning material, but yeah, queen b8 mate. I guess I also had knight d7, queen b8 mate. Okay. What is the fee for St. Louis Chess Club? If it's your first time visiting, it's free. And then they have membership options. If you're a student, maybe it's like $50 a year. I think the rates are pretty reasonable. And that gives you access to all the lectures and probably discounted tournament entry as well. Yeah, sometimes like I'll see a winning line and then I won't look for even more winning lines. Like I saw this, and white's up a piece. I'm hitting the bishop, but queen b8 is slightly more winning on the spot. Yeah, go to stlouischessclub.org, I think. I think it's .org. You'll find way more information. Thank you everyone for the beard compliments. Hey Eric, random question. Are you familiar with aphantasia? I vaguely know what it is. And if so, do you think it's possible to get good at chess with it? I met someone with aphantasia, or aphantasia, I don't know how to pronounce it. Who was rated, I think like around 2000 Vitae. I forget her name. I think she's a streamer. There's also a book by, oh, what's his name? Sasha Chapin? Sasha Chapin? I don't always know how to pronounce my A's. The book is called All the Wrong Moves. And I'm pretty sure he kind of discusses his experience playing chess, learning chess with aphantasia. Because it's the ability to not be able to like visualize things. Which seems like a mandatory skill for chess, but I think there's other ways to think about a chess game rather than just like visualizing. But of course, yeah, it probably has its own challenges. Anyway, let's play one more. Playing a high-rated non-title player. And we have a Taimanov. Hey, it's Chess Dojo. Appreciate the raid. Was it Kostya? Was it Jesse? Was it David? I think David Pruis was like just mentioned in chat by someone. Oh, it's all three. Oh, hey. Thank you to all the dojos. Shout out to Chess Dojo. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're just joining, I'm playing Blitz. I'm getting ready for Title Tuesday. White is, I guess, wanting a sharp game. Yeah, this could get tactical. Maybe look to play e5 soon. Bishop e6. It seems decently solid. Could take in bishop e6. Oh, wow. If I take, there's bishop f3. I missed e5. 98 might be necessary. Yeah, difficult position now. b4, wow. Out of nowhere. Queen c7. Okay, I have queen e3. Go for queen e3. Trade queens. Man, there's rook e8. What to do? I think I'm just lost. g5. Knight b7.
Yo, positive vibes.
I appreciate the vibes. This game is giving me negative vibes, unfortunately. Down on time. Position is really bad. I'm hitting c2. White is playing a little bit slowly. Take. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. Yeah, it's just losing. White's playing like really slowly. Okay. What to do? Okay. This b4 move. Yeah, I completely missed e5. e5 is super strong. I've encountered this line before. I guess a3 is not super common. a3 is maybe a sign white's scared of bishop b4. Yeah, usually I run into castling, and then I guess this whole idea probably makes more sense against white castling kingside. Queen d2. Okay. I still have time for more games. Let's do another. Any announcement for those joining? Yeah, if you're just joining, happy Tuesday. This is the second stream of the day. I'm warming up for Title Tuesday. I was ready to play a Staffer Gambit there, but instead we have a kind of 4 knights type thing. What do I want to do? Castle. I had something similar earlier in the first tournament. It was g5 maybe. Go for g5. If it takes, I take here first. I want to play knight f4. So take on c3. I think I kind of want to trade everything. Bishop g4 next. Yeah, white's threatening knight takes e5. If I take on d4, I'll take on f3 first. Yeah, I might regret having pushed kingside pawns, but there's no going back. It still looks decently solid. f6 is a backwards pawn, but there's ways to defend it. Rook f5 is probably a good move. Now there's pressure on e5. Wow. Yeah, I'm just forever worse here. What to do? Just have to hold my ground. Okay, h5 is a good sign.
Beard is a massive W for the chess community.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm going to double up rooks on the f file. Can I get a massive W in this game? I'm getting squeezed. Not comfortable. Now it's comfortable. Okay. I had a lot of pawns at the end there. I had a lot of pawns. Okay. I think that's my last game before Title Tuesday begins. I didn't have enough time for the Amman checkmate. Neither did my opponent. I would have had enough pieces for it though. But it would take a while, like promote to 2 bishops, bring them back. Not enough time. Yeah, white overpushed a little bit. I probably would have been happy with a draw. I think white should have left the tension too, because It's annoying to always have to calculate the captures on g5. Yeah, the turning point was when I won a4. Although, I'll admit, when I took a4, I didn't realize white could take here. But thankfully, white has more pawns hanging. My king is still pretty safe. At one point, you had mate in 28. I'm pretty sure I could find mate in 28 from this position. Maybe mate in 49. Oh, yeah, my watch is not, it's not fully charged. So I don't think I'm going to wear the heart rate monitor today. But don't worry, my heart is still beating. It was probably beating faster towards the end of that last game. Eric, did you have a chance to make good autumn photographs? Let's see. I spend the next 8 minutes sharing photos of autumn. I took some autumn photos recently. I don't know if they're like so spectacular. They're just iPhone photos. This is Forest Park in St. Louis. Got some nice warm oranges and yellows. This is around golden hour. Another autumn photo. This is when I was dog sitting Roxy. Took Roxy to Forest Park. We're having a ball. Almost as big as a giant king. This was the day Roxy got groomed. A nice haircut. You get fog in St. Louis. Very rarely. There was a point, like, one of the summers we got a lot of haze. Like, back when the air quality was not good. But recently there's been no haze, no fog. Pretty good weather, actually. Yeah, the Giant King is outside the St. Louis Chess Club. Or outside the World Chess Hall of Fame, which is across from the St. Louis Chess Club. It's like a whole chess complex. Teotwagi says, are you challenging my beard? I'm just coexisting with your beard. I think beards can coexist together. No need for beard versus beard challenges. Yeah, I'm just participating in No Shave November. The weather is getting cooler. But then once I get to Singapore, it's going to be really hot, and then the beard will probably come off. Okay, strong field today. No Magnus. Naroditsky is 10th seed. Shankland is 15th. Got Komsky there. I'm the 59th seed. Teotwagi says, I removed about 10 centimeters off my beard. I don't think I'm even at 1 centimeter. I'm not really going to be challenging your beard for probably a long time. Oh, hey, it's Levy. Okay, my goal of this tournament is to end the tournament higher rated than Gotham Chess. He's 7 points ahead of me. I feel like a couple weeks ago he was 150 points higher rated than me. He was in the 2850s. I was like struggling to be over 2700. We probably won't play each other. If this was an over-the-board tournament, we would probably be sitting next to each other or near each other. What's with the small mug? So I made a giant thermos of tea, and then the small mug is to sip the tea from. So the tea stays hot in the thermos. Also, this mug came from Scandinavia. Came from a well-known chess player there who maybe I'll reveal later. All right, emote only. Here we go. Okay, first opponent. Play Amora. Knight g6. White definitely has compensation. Things might revolve around the e-pawn. Yeah, not super comfortable here. I'm really not sure what to do. Thinking f6. Never mind. Now I have to play f6. It actually looks like a decent position now. Bishop b6, king h8. Still tricky. Okay. I was not comfortable in that middle game, but managed to still get the job done. Yeah, taking might be a little bit rushed. It might just be better to castle here. I thought this was a typical idea. Let's see. Bishop b4. Yeah, taking is rushed. So I guess there's cases where I just leave my bishop here, play knight g6. Even cases where the bishop can drop back. Yeah, because it felt like it was just a bad French. Like I was up a pawn, but extra pawn wasn't too meaningful. Engine says f6 here. Yeah, maybe I should have realized this sooner that I have to take back with pawn. a4 was strong, during bishop a3. But then white provoked me to play f6, and then it was actually okay. I think from here it was completely fine. Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of surviving, not blundering, waiting for the position to improve. So better start than the earlier Title Tuesday. First Title Tuesday I started 0 out of 2. This one I'm 1 out of 1. Tied with Hikaru, Faruja, Duda. I'll probably play down at least one more game. Oh, it's Kramnik. I've never played Kramnik before. My dream is to play the Stafford Gambit against Kramnik. I did play 3 Stafford Gambits earlier in Title Tuesday. Had some really fun games. Yeah, the reason why I'd be like interested in playing the Stafford against Kramnik is I think he's one of the strongest players on the planet who probably doesn't know what the Stafford Gambit is. Like, he doesn't really spend his time watching my videos. He spends his time on other things, but it's always fun to play the Stafford against a strong player who like doesn't know it and has to figure it out on the fly, especially in blitz. Yeah, maybe I'll regret what I wish for, but we'll see. We'll just take it one game at a time. Okay, we'll play London here. I feel like I've played this opponent before, once before. We've had one draw. There's a lot of moves for black in this position. Earlier I encountered bishop f5. g6. So we're actually going into a Caro-Kann. Pretty sure there's some idea, like bishop f5 takes g4. Could play rook b1. Still calculating these lines. Takes g4, takes knight g5. Looks decent. I just throw in a4. I guess black was aware of that. Considering knight e1. Maybe just queen e2. This looks passive. I just want to improve the knight. Rook e1, e5 might come. It's going to be a long positional grind. my horsies. Okay. Nice grind down. Able to gradually build up pressure. 2 out of 2. Thank you to White Noise. Welcome back. Happy 68. Thank you, BioSci Happy 4. Yeah, I'm happy with that game overall. Very typical structure you get from London. This can also come from a Caro-Kann. Carl's bad structure with being Kato from black. And yeah, there's sometimes the idea of bishop f5. I was ready to take in g4. I think very similar position was featured in, it may have been the very first game of the Levy versus Pia match. I don't think bishop f5 was played, but I remember watching the commentary, and Ostrovsky was explaining this g4 idea. But yeah, the game was very positional. Engine says I should not take on a6, although also says taking on e6 is completely fine. It's just one of these long positions which calls for gradual improving, eventual pawn storming. I was happy with my horsies. It was very hard for black to handle the horsies, especially towards the end. Board without pieces asking, have you investigated knight f3 d3 endgame versus Caro-Kann? I went through a brief phase of playing that. I can't recall if I've ever played it in a tournament. But there is a few months where I was playing it. Okay, let's focus. Playing Sindarov. Play another London. Bishop e6 is a top engine move. I don't think I've played anyone who ever plays this though. Knight c6 I think is like the decent move. Queen c5 falls for the trap, which I think my opponent's realizing. Yeah, still queen c5, knight a4. Objectively, I think black is fine here. I also have to be careful. Does queen c5 work? Queen c5, knight a4, knight e4. Takes. Knight take on g7 should be good for white. Might see knight d7. Take. Knight d7, take a3. Queen c5, queen d4. Anything better than a3? I have f3 here. Start with a3. Knight e4 might be playable. I take. Crazy lines. Okay, so b4, rook b4. Knight d5 is okay. Not sure. Knight d5, rook a4. Bishop c3. No, maybe knight e7. Okay, it's a good sign. Should not have allowed that. The rook hanging too. Take. See what to do. Oh. game. What a crazy, crazy game. That was insane. We both had pawns. Opponent had more pawns, which turned into queens. That's such a good position from the opening. I think the rook was hanging for so long. Did neither of us see this? Or was he intentionally sacking? Bishop d3 is actually the best move. I just didn't see bishop takes b8. Oh. I should just take the rook. And then rook d1. And then d4 was good, fine, and I'm worse. But then, I mean, things got insane. I may have, like, just always been in trouble, but what was going on here? b6. I'm just losing. I was hoping for this line, queen and then check. It's not mate though. I guess it's perpetual. Rook e2 and then we repeat. Yeah, I just forgot bishops could move diagonally. As a blind, more than just a blind spot, a blind diagonal. I should get used to this diagonal as a London player. Okay. So I'm 2 out of 3. Still doing decently. c3. Play reverse London. Not sure how fond of this I am. 95 is coming. Should be okay. I just castle. Maybe eventually c5. I am improvising here. Queen c7. Thinking knight fd7. When pawn takes, I have knight c5, bishop d3. And there's a line takes, takes, takes. I guess I have to move back to d7. Looks playable. And knight e5 is coming. Maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Can take now. This is a happy square for the queen. So h-file is closed. Defend h7, pin the knight. If I get this move in, it's very hard to stop both these threats. I'm still threatening knight b4. Rook f2. Bishop a6, rook c7, I think is okay. This is one idea, to open the B file. Queen f4 is some idea. Queen f4, knight e5. Takes, I take the queen first. I think I want to sack the a-pawn. Oh, that I missed. Still interesting. Ready, knight c3. Insane tactic. It's not over though. King f8. King e8. Can't believe I just did that. That's a draw. I can't believe it. So sad. I dropped a pawn. It's winning too. It should be winning. I don't play rook g3. I don't know what I was scared of. I just wanted to make room for the pawn and just miss rook c5. I had enough time to. Good game. A lot of fights. Some long fights. I was so happy with knight c3 as well. I'll admit I didn't really see this line. I thought b5 was winning. But white's actually better after bishop takes c8. I'm so fortunate to have this this move. It seems like rook d5 is safe, but yeah, knight c3 is so nice. White has rook f5 here. Yeah, the point is the pawn is pinned to a2, so this is mate. Oops. Hopefully I wouldn't mouse slip if I got this position. So white could play rook f5, deflect my rook, and then take the knight. And this is close to equal. But then this, I mean, should have been... Oh, I could have played rook a2. But this was also fine. What to do? Okay, 2.5 out of 4. Bortnik. A lot of players with 4 out of 4. 15-way tie for first with perfect score. I have not seen the rematch miniseries. I've seen posts about it. I also saw some documentary years ago on the Kasparov Deep Blue match. I think it was called Game Over. But this was maybe 15 years ago. I'll have to reactivate my HBO subscription. Every once in a while, I'll subscribe to HBO for some random show. I wonder actually, like if I want to watch this rematch on HBO, can I claim my HBO membership as a business expense? I mean, it's like learning about my industry, right? Even though for most people it's entertainment. Yeah, where are my Twitch chat accountants? I didn't see Hikaru's recap video. It sounds exciting though. What is the Anderson's opening? That sounds like A3, but I'm not sure. It won't let me make a move. This is one of these dummy boards. Let's see. Anderson opening. Oh, maybe A for Anderson. And B for... I wanted to say bullish, but it's a Nimzo Larsen attack. I think I'm upgrading at least the stream. I think I started the stream like 2750 something. Yeah, I can't remember last time I encountered A3 or played A3 myself. I played the sodium attack not too long ago. Knight A3. Also, A3 was seen in a really important game in the US Championship this year. It was the last round. A Wonder Liang against Lanier Dominguez. A Wonder, I think, needed to win with white to have any shot of time with Fabiano. I Wonder like got a really good position too. It transposed into some London opening. Yeah, maybe I'll mix up the openings a bit more. Still a lot more chess to be played. Round 5 is coming up, so 7 more games. I guess I have to work to play a higher rated player. I just want to catch up to Kramnik and then play Kramnik and then beat Kramnik with the Stafford Gambit. My one life goal. Oh, how's Levy doing? Not seeing Levy. Also not seeing me, so maybe we're tied. Now I see me. Oh, he quit after game 1. Oh no, my Levy. Alright, well. Next game. Let's be focused. Playing Casper Lou. Played before. I've looked at this. I forget what I looked at. Bishop c5? Doesn't feel right, but maybe it's playable. What is this? I have king f8, queen d6. Up a piece. White has not lost a single pawn. So it's piece for 2 pawns. I like the idea of knight c4.
You're the goat.
Thank you. Do this.
Do you know any riddles?
Take. It feels a little bit shaky, but I think it's okay. I'm attacking the pawn and bishop. White does currently have 3 pawns for the piece, but this I take. And rook e8 is coming. Fancy. c5 I take and rook c8. Kind of mess this up. Okay. Almost let that one slip. That was close. Held on to one pawn there. That was important. Okay. So I'm 3.5 out of something. Out of 5. A point behind Kramnik. Is this a special mate? It might have a name. The Rook Knight combo mate. Also with the king. There's another mate, like, it's kind of called the hook mate. Involves a pawn. It's usually when the king is more centralized. So I'm not sure if I'll play up or down. I'll probably play down next game. Oh, I'm playing up. Benjamin Bach. We played in real life a few days ago. Local St. Louis tournament. There we go. We were actually discussing like London prep after our game. But we didn't go into this line. He played like knight f66 in our OTB game. It was a 3+2 blitz tournament. I had this line earlier. I beat Nigel Short with this yesterday. Nigel Short walked into a funny trap, which I did show earlier in the previous stream. We're going into the same line. I'm glad he's taking time. Okay, he plays a better move. Bishop d7. Yeah, this is still prep. So bishop d7, there's bishop a6. Bishop g4 might be the best move. Bishop e7 also very playable. If bishop e7, I don't take the pawn, I play h4. Rook h3, rook b3. Some deep engine prep. I am threatening mate in 1, so black doesn't have too many options. I think most people play knight f6 here. After which, I think I take in bishop a5. Because most people realize this idea. It's the only reason to play h4. Doing a very long time. Now the setup is probably bishop d3, knight e2. I had a game in this not too long ago. Pawn should go to c4. Bishop lightly to a5. Kind of allowing bishop b4, but we trade rook b1, takes. Still looks okay. So there is c5. a3. a3 makes some sense. c5, f3. King will go to e3, rook will go to b1. c5 is a long-term weakness. But how to attack it? h5. It's a good move. That work? Check. Uh-oh. Just move. I don't know who's playing for a win. I'm good to repeat. Should I offer a draw? Okay. No one was offering a draw. I think we just enjoy playing chess so much that we wanted to keep playing. Good game. Very intense game. I got a massive time advantage. Also, shout out to Bach, who's also streaming. And also has a YouTube channel. I might ask him if it would be okay to like mash up our commentary for a YouTube video. If you're watching this in the future on YouTube, I'll link Bach's channel below. His Twitch and YouTube channels. Everyone go follow him. Oh, he says good game. Okay, I say good game too. Yeah, I felt like I was maybe a little bit better at some point, but maybe not. Yeah, F5 was very strong. And I missed this tactic because if I take, then I lose back the piece. I had to go for this. It actually seems like a pretty clean game overall. Anything missed in the endgame? Oh, I was winning. King e5. Yeah, because the rook is stuck. I should have walked up. And then I gave away the pawn. Okay. Imagine chess.com will say like 95 for each of us because we played out the rook ending. I think that does inflate the accuracy. Oh, 91. Okay, still decently high. Okay, moving on. I have 4 out of 6, I think. 6 or 7? 4 out of 6, okay, because this is round 7. Never played this player before. C3. A3. It's kind of similar to the Hans Magnus game, which I don't really remember. E5. Play this first. E5, G5. This was maybe not the best idea. I take. Yeah, maybe I should have played rook e8 instead of h6. I am currently up a pawn. A very typical Catalan type position. I have some center. If this, I play this. D5 might be coming. Just allow it. D5, knight a5. Now I could take and play knight a5. It's still questionable. Some knight b3 idea. Some c5. C pawn is pinned, but maybe someday c5. B5, a4. Knight d7. Wow. Take an f6. G4, G5 might be coming. This D3 square is nice for the knight. C4 is hanging. Expecting G4. The G4 maybe Queen f8, G5, G6. Trade bishop e7. Queen goes back, I play h5. Just not sure about bishop e7, bishop e3. Take e4, rook d7. Or to stop. Yeah, just go for it. Not sure about it. Oh wow. Okay. Really messing this up. Okay. Ah, nice. That was a stressful game. That was really stressful. I was much, much worse after blundering c4. There's a moment, well, he could have played rook d8. Force the trade of rooks and then bishop d8, takes e7. But somehow I kept holding. Yeah, white lost h6, lost e4. It turned around. So I'm 5 out of 7. Still a point behind Kramnik. Thank you, Dynmont. Happy 2 years. Okay, moving on. Also, thank you, Obeast. Happy 18 months. I had a very similar position earlier against Sindarov. It was queen a5 instead of a6. Now if takes, I have knight a4. But then queen a7. I think I'd still go for this, queen d4. Yeah, there's a trap where a6 isn't included, and the queen is kind of stuck. I think this is still reasonable. I'm threatening this. Knight c6 I don't think helps because I take and then still go for this. So what am I missing? This? There's win material? Knight d7, knight fd7, I take on a8. That looks pretty good. Also d5 is hanging in some lines. Like I could take on d5 here. It's better to just grab the rook. Queen b6. And takes knight d7. I think it's okay. Looks risky, but I'm trying to maximize my advantage. Trying all these knight discoveries. If knight d7, we trade c3, knight c3. Black is kind of stuck. Rook c8, c3. Wait a minute. c6 is coming. Miss knight c6. Oh, I have queen c7? Almost didn't see that. Threatening mate in 2. I missed a chance to trade queens, but that's okay. Just a fork. Man, these winning positions, they do take a lot of work to win. 6 out of 8. Wow, Duda against Kramnik. Duda's playing for a win. We do have a break coming up, so I have time to cool down. Duda almost flagging. Kramnik almost flagging too. Both players almost flagging. It's so hard to gain time. Oh, it's a queen trade. Wow, Kramnik was very quick. Quick to flag there. I was gonna say quick to resign, but very quick to flag. I'm tied with Kramnik. Let's go. We could play next game. It's a real possibility. And I would have the black pieces. I'm 6 out of 8. I've drawn 2 and lost 1. There's a comment from Raven Cow. I think you both missed some line. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, way back on move 16. All right. Yeah, so we went into this. This is actually objectively totally fine for black. Black is slightly better. Oh, knight takes c8. I briefly considered this. But then I saw rook takes c8. Ah, then I can take on d5. Okay. Ah, hitting the knight in the f7 pawn. Wait, so move 16. f6, e5, e4. Oh yeah, the issue with f6 is g6 hangs. So I don't think black can play this. Yeah, just knight takes g6. In a perfect world, then maybe black could force the knight back to f3 and fork. But it doesn't quite work out for black. Yeah, that knight was better. But then here, I thought, like, because there were other lines where queen d4 seemed like the only move. And then I realized queen d4, knight c6, I got forked. It took me so long to even consider queen c7. But then, okay, I eventually converted. Not the cleanest fashion, but a fashion nonetheless. Do I prep for Kramnik? I think that would involve more mental and emotional preparation than anything else. So we are on a break. We got about 5 minutes until next game. I'm going to take a small break myself, and I'll be back in a few moments. Still got about 3 minutes. Message from Alex Biogene. Hey Eric, I play Stonewall, Torre, Ponziani with white. So you play e4 and d4. Please tell me one good opening for white and one for black. Well, if you're already playing e4 and d4, you might want to make sure you're like decently prepared for the other things you run into. Like when you're playing e4, you should have something against French, Caro-Kann, Sicilian. Against French and Caro-Kann, I like the two knights attack. There are slightly different lines against each, but a lot of overlapping ideas, a lot of tricks and traps. Against Sicilian, I like the Grand Prix attack. And then as black, you should have something against e4 and d4. Against e4, it depends how crazy you want to be. I like the, like one of the openings I like to recommend for black against e4 is the Accelerated Dragon. I think very easy to learn. A lot of positions don't require like too much memorization. A lot of it is understanding, at least when you're first starting out. And against d4, I like the Queen's Gambit declined. So who else might I play? I'm tied for top 20. Yeah, there's a lot of players with 6 out of 8. I've already played Bach. I could play Chess Sharks, although we're a little bit close in rating. Oh, I beat this player earlier with a Stafford. I don't think I want to play the Stafford again, though. Wow, so I'm playing down. Let's play a Sicilian. I'll play my usual Taimanov. Okay. Something a little bit less dubious. What is this line? Bishop e7. Knight c3, d6, I guess. So leading into some hedgehog. I think I'm supposed to take on d4. e5 might be coming. I could play e5 myself. Rook d8. Calculating e5, knight e8. Some b5 idea. I mean, ideally I just want to play this and this and live happily ever after. e5 is coming very soon. I might have to play e5 myself. c6, e5, knight d7, queen h5. That looks playable. I can go for this. Could maybe include taking as well. Gotta move faster. Wow. Pressure against e4. Now v5 I take on g2. Rook e8. Rook e5, knight h5. Knight trade g6. A very tense position. Trying to prepare knight h5. Also threatening this, maybe. Rook d8 coming. Things are about to explode. All the tension. F5, take, take, take. I have no idea what's going on. Both bishops are hanging. Bishop b6, rook d2. I wasn't kidding when I said things are about to explode. Like, the whole position just kind of blew up. Thankfully, it was in my favor. Yeah, F5. Super explosive. But the pieces were really well placed for the center opening up. And White's pieces were more targets than, like, strengths. So I'm 7 out of 9. I don't know if I've ever started this well in the first 9 rounds. I'm number 11 overall. Did I pass Kramnik? Kramnik's still playing. Oh, Kramnik's gonna win too. Oh man. Yeah, there's no way White survives, or there's no way Black survives this position. Engine will say like +1 around, but it's like in Blitz it's just lost. But you never know. You never know. King is a little bit airy. Okay, I'm tied with Kramnik again. We could actually play next game. But still, okay, there's a handful of people with 7. Is it common to reach Marazzi-type positions in Taimanov? In certain lines, yeah, I can probably elaborate on that question after the tournament if you want me to. Just remind me once the tournament ends. There's cases where it's just not good for White to get Marazzi. But there's some lines where it's possible. I'm very happy with this last game. We went into some like deep theory. Bishop e7. I mean, I was basically prepped through Bishop e7. And then I kind of knew the structure. Okay, playing blue bomb. All right, let's focus here. Yeah, blue bomb is a strong player, but we have this line again. I don't remember this. I think it's e4, but then knight b5. I might be forgetting. I think this is playable. I've definitely played this at some point and messed it up. I think I even played this against Hikaru and took with queen. Knight b5 is just based off vague memories. c3. It's the only move. I have knight d6 and a4. So take on d5. Calculating queen d5, queen a4. Okay, that's a good sign. What to do? Just bishop d3. And this should be a nice position. I'm down a pawn, but d6 square. I see bishop c7 is coming. Queen e2. Not seeing it. A slow move. Wasn't sure what to do. I feel like I missed something. I burned so much time too. Some kingside potential. Uh, I feel like I missed something out of the opening there. I'm not sure though. I burned so much time, probably when it was not necessary. Maybe I didn't miss anything. Like, it looks promising, knight d6. I didn't go for this because c3's attacked and this is a threat. I guess it's nothing special for white. It was just down a pawn. Okay. So no huge miss. He actually found the best line. I guess I need to be more prepared for this. Oh, queen d4 is actually the best move. I just remember having trouble in this line. Queen a4, bishop d7? No, then I can take. What if d4? Ah, then knight b5. So this is the line to go for. Bishop b4, knight e2. Yeah, this definitely requires more specific prep and understanding. Blue Bomb is really well prepared in like so many different openings too. I've played them before where he just tears me apart with him having the white pieces. Okay, we're watching Kramnik again. This is my life now. b7 just wins, right? Wait. Oh, this isn't so simple. Rook d8, a5. This might be a draw. g4 is coming. White's playing for a win, but interesting position. g4, why not? g4, f6, nice. Now g4. Ooh, black might win. Oh, this might actually be winning for black. H3 almost works. White won by resignation. What? Is it resignable? No. Really? Black's better. Why did black mean to offer a draw? What is this? King f1, king e5. If king g1, it's winning. Because black's gonna win this pawn. Apparently it's still close to equal. I don't understand this position. Oh, black doesn't want drama. Ah, is that the reason? Yeah, I don't want to speculate. Very strange finish, though. Kramnik's been playing e4, so I'm not going to play Kramnik. He has 8 points. Maybe I can tie my best score ever. I'm not sure if I'll play up or down next game. Currently in 22nd place. Tied with Bach. Yeah, there's some 2700s with 7. I think I play up, though. Seems like there's a lot more players higher rated than me. Yeah, Magnus isn't playing this one. He played earlier today. I think Hikaru won the event earlier. Some close tie breaks. Any games still going? One game still going. Classic draw. Yeah, there's really no way to play for a win as white. You could try rook h7, g7, but then that could be losing for white. Am I above Levy? Levy apparently dropped out after the first round, so I guess I am. Should have more points. My rating increased too. Okay, final game. Here we go. What do I want to play? Play this. Maybe c5, d4. Not super confident, but just playing chess. Definitely a bit worse here. I have 98. I'm just losing. Knight A7's coming. I'm just losing. Once I have... Let's see what to do. Nice find. Yeah, that was rough. Okay, I finished with 7. Yeah, B4 was very, very nice find. Nice tactic. My bishop's trapped. Because if I take, then there's knight A7, hitting the rook and threatening this. I don't have rook C4. Rook C5 is met with this. Actually, rook C5 is mate in 2 for white with this. Or mate in, I guess, 3. Rook D8 eventually. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't go for A5. I'll take away a lesson or two from this game. I thought D4 was good in the moment. Engine doesn't like it. I very briefly did consider E5, but I saw knight F5. Yeah, maybe if I kept calculating. It actually looks nice. If we trade knights for bishops, I have my pawns on dark squares. And then I'm just worse. It's a very difficult position to play. Best move, only move, King F8. Yeah, it's such a hard move to find. I took a... How long did I take? I took a long time to play Rook D1. Yeah, B4 was a good find. A nice tournament, though. Overall, I'm happy with the games. Gained some rating. I beat a few good players. I guess I beat one GM. I drew Bach. Yeah, the game against Bach was actually probably the most exciting. I want to go back and see his commentary aligned with my commentary. Because he took so much time in the opening. Like, I caught him in this tricky London line. So I had this line like 3 or 4 times today. Across both Title Tuesdays. I mean, it's objectively equal, but very tricky. H4. H4 is engine-inspired prep. Second best move. Point is if takes rook h3. Actually, white's much better after rook h3. So I'm kind of debating whether to keep streaming or just end it here. What do people want? I can answer questions too. Especially if people have opening questions. Push for 2800. Sometimes when I push for a high rating, then my rating declines, but I could try. Why would they go bishop b7? Yeah, so I guess I should explain what the thought process is. Oh, good job, Hikaru. Winning by a 1.5 tiebreak score. Tying with Serrano. Sindarov, who I did play this tournament, finishing in 3rd. Okay, looks like there are some opening questions. Oh yeah, I was going to address this position first. Because it does look more natural for black to move the bishop this way. I am threatening mate in 1. So black should move the bishop to unleash the rook. A lot of people are scared to develop the bishop, let's say, to f5 because of bishop a6. And then there's so many cases where the rook gets trapped. I think it's still fine for black. I forget how. Knight f6. Oh yeah, in this case, bishop c2, bishop b7, and then f6. And somehow it's okay for black. But a lot of players don't want to deal with bishop a6, so they play bishop b7. So I hope that makes sense. There is a first-time chatter, X Moraine X. Says, hi Eric, didn't watch you for a long time. You were the first YouTuber who I've been learning chess from. I still play Stafford every game. Do you have any updates on this? I still play Stafford Gambit sometimes. Not every game, but I played it, 2 or 3 times today in the earlier Title Tuesday. What are your thoughts on Zugertort Kali? It's an opening. It's not an opening I've really gotten into, but it's playable. Kali is usually, I just want a board where I can move pieces. Oh my gosh, this thing keeps popping up. The Kali is usually this, 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 and this. Kali system. I play this position from the black side. I like to play the reverse Queen's Gambit. And usually when I'm white, I like my bishop outside the pawn chain. But I guess Kali players very often play b3, bishop b2, which is solid. Can sometimes lead to attacks in the middle game. Do you ever play the accelerated Stafford Gambit? I don't know what that is. There's a walrus, which is knight f3, e5. And sometimes it transposes into a Stafford if white plays e4 in this position. There's also the Bushgas, which is this, 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 and then bishop c5. Which can also transpose into a Stafford. After this, 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 this. And then if white plays these moves, then knight f6 will transpose. Do you think Taimanov is decent for the 1900 FIDE level? Yeah, I think it's super reputable opening. It's playable at Grandmaster level and below. I'd say it is maybe a little bit harder to learn and understand compared to like a dragon. Because in Taimanov, you very often have to react appropriately to whatever white's setup is. But it leads to some fun, dynamic, imbalanced middle games. If you take this as a starting position. And I'd say, especially at the sub 2000 level, I mean, so many players just don't know what to do against Taimanov. Like they'll just make stuff up. They'll take here. They'll give you the center. You play d5. Get a nice middle game position. Some players will also allow, like there's a line bishop e3, and then there's cases where you can play knight f6, knight c3, bishop b4, and get like some really quick pressure. f3, d5. This is one of the lines that inspired me to start playing Taimanov. And we're pressuring this. We have ideas of e5 and d4. But if you're choosing like what Sicilian variation to play, you could also look into, rather than knight c6, knight f6 is maybe a little bit more venomous at the sub 2000 level. First of all, if white plays e5, that loses a pawn to queen a5. And if white plays knight c3, then knight c6. And yeah, there's so many players rated below 2000 that don't know the best move, knight b5. Knight db5, I should say. And like bishop e3 looks natural, but this goes into what I just showed, bishop b4 and d5 coming. Okay, this is turning into a Q&A stream. I'm just trying to speed run all the questions in chat. Hopefully provide some lessons, make the viewers stronger at chess. What's a good opening to play as black as a low-rated player? I typically like to play Queen's Gambit as white. Yeah, if you're choosing black openings, you should have something against e4 and something against d4. It's important to differentiate between what the opponent is doing. And then, I mean, what I was just showing is I think pretty effective at the lower levels. Like not everyone will play open Sicilian, but okay, open Sicilian is still most common. Knight f3, d4. And this is pretty simple to learn. e6, d4, takes, knight f6. 4 knights. If players do play knight db5, you can play bishop e4. And then look to play d5 next move. If this is actually okay for black. I think a lot of inexperienced players like go for this because they're excited to force a bomb cloud, but then they take, and white spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves to trade the knight for a bishop that didn't move. And then black will just kind of castle by hand. There was a question earlier from Geek Guam. In one of your recent speedrun videos, the game looked equal. You pointed out an imbalance. What do you mean? Yeah, imbalance, it's a term in chess. On a general level, it's just what's different between both sides. So in a position like this, there's definitely some imbalances. Black has more development, more pieces into play. Black also has more center pawns. It's a very common imbalance in Sicilian where black trades a c pawn for d pawn. There's also the notion of king safety. In this position, both kings are in the center, but neither king is like super exploitable. But yeah, there's different categories of imbalances. Of course, material, if one side is up material, there's an imbalance of like knight for bishop, or 2 minor pieces for a rook. There's imbalance of pawn structure, or just a better placed piece, or control over an open file. There's a book, it's called How to Reassess Your Chess by Jeremy Silman. It's linked on my website. Probably intended for 1800 plus ELO. But a big theme of the book is discussing imbalances. Because if you understand imbalances well, it's usually how you outplay opponents and win chess games. Do you think beginners should avoid openings that often go into positional complex positions? That's hard to answer in a general manner. I'd say it's more about what you should aim to do rather than what you should avoid. If you're just starting like your opening journey, you should first understand the principles of like develop as quickly as possible, get your king safe as quickly as possible, but also react to what your opponent is trying to do, what your opponent's threatening. Fight for the center. And if you're developing your pieces to like good harmonious squares, sometimes you'll just naturally get a complex positional game. But you should play to learn something from every game. And sometimes the lessons will be more strategic and positional in nature. Like a lot of beginners play the Italian, which is totally fine beginner opening. But at a grandmaster level, it's one of the deepest, like most positional and strategic openings in chess. Fowler says, I keep running into Vienna Gambit with knight c6 and bishop b5. You might have to clarify the move order. Vienna Gambit is this. You're saying knight c6, bishop e5 in this position. Oh, after queen f3. So I assume d5, takes, queen f3. Then knight c6, bishop b5. Yeah, this is like the main Vienna Gambit line. I used to play knight c6, and then I discovered f5. I think f5 is actually a more effective way to fight for an edge. So as a quick answer, this is what I would recommend learning. I think it's pretty straightforward to learn. Like most players play d3, you take, d4, prevent white from playing d4. Anyway, I can still address this knight c6, bishop e5. Mainly by turning on Stockfish and seeing what it recommends. This line, yeah. So if you're encountering this, I think the best line is just to do what Stockfish says. Takes, queen h4, queen e4. And you get this imbalanced position. It's maybe roughly equal, but black should not be worse. Bishop d7 is coming. Maybe e5 is a little bit weaker than e4. I think, like, I remember studying this line and then just wanting to avoid the queenless middle game going into an endgame. That's why I think f5 usually tends to keep more pieces on the board. It's also slightly favored by the engine. What makes one opening more positional than another? Don't they all have a mix of positional and tactical ideas? Yeah, pretty much every chess position will have a mix of positional play and tactics. The more tactical openings are usually the ones where there's more confrontation earlier on, and it's more reactive. So, for example, like the opening I've been playing, this London c5, knight c3, this is way more tactical because it already sets up these ideas aimed in black's territory, and there's so much tension, confrontation within the first 4 moves. But more positional opening is, let's say, like King's Indian attack, where players aren't really making threats against each other and kind of just improving their pieces gradually, doing their own thing, and then things sometimes get tactical later. And this was actually my last game in Title Tuesday. I was trying for positional play. I ended up getting crushed. What if they take en passant? I assume asking about this position. Yeah, en passant, it looks like it's forced. Some people might think it's forced. It's not a good move because black just takes back. And even though the knight's moved a few times now, bishop g4 is going to come with tempo. Black will castle very soon, and then use open f and or e files to attack. And it just creates a situation where the queen is a bit misplaced. So usually white likes to keep the pawn here to restrict the knight from retreating. Yeah, the main line I think is pawn d3. What's your favorite way of punishing attempted scholar's mate? I have a few videos on my YouTube channel. It's featured in the speedrun. Just defend. Like, defend the pawn, defend f7, keep defending f7. If they play this line, play knight d4, sack f7, play king e7, and then white's busted. If queen c4, b5. So that's a very quick explanation. There's a question from Merlin. When using the Grand Prix against Sicilian, is a plan to defend your E/F pawns or trade them off? It depends. If you're fully developed and castled, then sometimes you want to push them and attack, open up more lines. Like the first line to learn, if you're just learning the Grand Prix, is just kind of the basic setup, like this. Let's say black plays a basic setup. This is one of the most common setups. And you play queen e1, looking to maneuver to the king side, also creating x-ray vision. So if black plays d5, you take, knight is pinned, you win a pawn. So very often black will castle. And in this position, white's already ready to strike. And the move to play is f5, which aims to open up this diagonal, this file, and also opens a dark square diagonal. So it's a very harmonious move with white setup. And if black takes, which I think used to be the most common move in the Lichess database at least, this is already like nearly winning for white. Because this or this are coming, and it's just terrible for black. Like if black plays this, you take, and fork. And if black, let's say, plays knight d4, you play bishop g5. Rook e8, knight d5, and you exploit the pin. If knight goes back, you check, and black's nearly getting mated. But there are cases where like you're more patient, you don't play f5, and you maybe start with this, maybe do things on the queen side. If black plays a6, you can play a4. But if you want to attack, f5 is usually the move to go for. Marco Rolo Polo Yolo says, I'm fairly new to Accelerator Dragon. There are cases like in the exchange variation where black is left with awesome center pawns. But I struggle to learn how and when to start pushing those. It might help to see a game, because I'm not sure what variation is referred to. Accelerator Dragon is this. Open Sicilian with g6. Maybe you're referring to takes. Yeah, sometimes when white takes, you don't actually push your center pawn so quickly. You just complete development and put the pawn on d6. Let's say this. I've been disconnected. Oh no. Maybe I've been doing too much analysis. And all my analysis just evaporated. Oh man. I guess that's the danger of using an analysis board here. It doesn't save. If you want a very good deep resource in learning Accelerated Dragon, XSlam Chessmood. They have a super extensive course on all dragon lines. And it's pretty applicable across lower levels to even my level. Any advice for someone who gets advantage out of the opening but struggles to convert? Chessmood also has a whole course on how to convert good positions and convert the advantages, which I've been meaning to take myself because I sometimes struggle with that as well. So I think I'll play some games. I hope I answered enough questions. If I miss anything that someone wants answered, I can always answer between games. There's a question, where are the courses? So if you have a Chessmood account, you can navigate the courses. You just click courses and then scroll down for opening courses. And then within the black repertoire, you get the Sicilian videos. They cover all the Sicilian sidelines as well, Alapin. But Accelerator Dragon would be this course. Do you study chess all by yourself or do you have a coach? I worked with a lot of coaches growing up. These days, most of my study involves playing games online and then checking the openings. But when I played like some classical events over the summer, I was working with Grandmaster Avati Grigorian, who is one of the co-founders of Chessmood. And he was very helpful dissecting some areas in my game to work on. How often do you do arenas for viewers on Lichess? I don't create my own arenas too often, but I very often play in like the hourly or daily arenas. Okay. Enough answering questions. I'm hopping back in the pool. Thank you. Okay. I've definitely analyzed this before. Queen a5, knight d5. It'd be a question if I remember it. I think black is hesitant to play queen a5 because it's a lot to calculate if you're not prepared. I mean, the main thing I remember is take on c6 and d5. Trying to understand how that works, though. I could take on f6 too. I think this is okay. Rookie, I also have d5 immediately. Let's take first. Rook b8. Thank you to Lorgan. Welcome back. Not sure about 95. That's also a move. A little bit passive. Materials equal. Rook e2, I have an f4. Probably just want to neutralize the e-file. A happy night. These moves are off limits because of knight forks. 98 coming. Almost missed that. Threatening this. Oops. Oops! I missed a fork. Okay. A slightly messy ending, but we'll take it. Gained 8 points for that. I've had this position before. H4 best move. Oh, this is still good. Okay, so knight d5 takes... At some point I messed up though. Bishop takes... So d5 is a little bit stronger. What was I scared of? Takes... Takes, takes... I just take on b5 in the end. What if takes? Because this is equal material. I'm trying to understand why white is so much better according to the engine. I guess just 2 bishops and half of a d file. I could see that. Does chess get more boring as you reach your level with so many drawish positions? There's probably a higher frequency of kind of dry draws, but it doesn't make chess as a whole more boring. If anything, getting stronger at chess has made me realize that there's just so much more to learn. And there's just so much that I'm not that great at that can be improved. So I think it's more the opposite effect where as you get better, you develop a deeper appreciation for the game. But there's definitely there's been times for me where if I play the same opening for too long, it kind of feels redundant, but then I switch things up and sometimes changing just like one opening, whether it's like switching from e4 to d4 or doing something different as black, it just opens up a whole different world and makes the game more exciting. Yeah, let's keep it going. What's my rating range? Does it say? Oh, okay. Playing a decently strong player here. We have Taimanov. Hey, it's Jeffrey Zhang. Thank you, Jeffrey Zhang. Appreciate the raid. I actually don't know this specifically. I think d5 eventually. Yeah, I hope you had a good stream and a good title Tuesday. If you're just joining, I'm trying to get back over 2800. Trying to stay focused. Queen b6. Would be nice to trade light square bishops. I see the giant Jeffrey emote. That's slightly terrifying. So take. Some e5 move, maybe. Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Probably just moving faster. Moving way too slowly. I missed d3. I'm missing everything. Oh, yeah. Oops. Okay. Not my proudest game. That was rough. I just kind of froze up. I wanted to do something tricky. Like when rook d2 is played, or rook c2 is played, I wanted to take, bishop h4, takes queen d3. But then I tried to provoke the pawn to h4. But then it just gave white time to play rook c1. And then here, I have to find rook e6. All right. Let's play another. I see a lot of these emotes. Do you play any other competitive games? Not really mainstream video games. I've never played Dota or Fortnite or Minecraft or Valorant. I don't even know how to play these games. But I enjoy Scrabble, any sort of word game. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Codenames. I got the Codenames app. Do these daily challenges. I enjoy some sports. Tennis, table tennis, anything with like a ball and a racket. I played paddle for the first time back in June in Spain. Oh yeah, the daily games too, like Wordle. Used to play Redactyl. All right. Why not rook e6? I missed it last game. Yeah, it's just should have been in my radar. Okay, this is an opening I usually enjoy playing. And there's a plan to put rooks on b4 and b3. I think black has to go for this. Bishop does a nice job piercing through. Now this is my plan. We might see like rook e7, knight f8. Then e5 becomes loose. Rook e3 as well. I'm gonna have bishop b8. And then take. I think everything's controlled. Okay. That was actually like a really nice model game for this line. I forget exactly where I first saw this idea, but it's one of the like ideas that stem from exactly this opening. Is you bring the knight to a5, which essentially induces a trade, and then you put rooks on the b file. That's a cool example of a closed file, so a file with two pawns on it, where you can still use because the rooks go in front of the pawn. Oh, Jeffrey says, don't know if you remember, Eric, but we played tennis at Susan's house. I do remember. I don't remember playing against Jeffrey, though. I remember playing against Ray. These days I play against Ray like a decent amount in ping pong and tennis. I remember playing, I think I played ping pong against Jeffrey at World Youth 2011 in Brazil. I might have a picture to show. I don't know if Jeffrey's still here. Let's see if I can find the photo. Jeffrey. Trying to find the photo of ping pong. 2011. So this is 2011. There's some very notable chess players in this photo. So this was a year that a Wonder Liang won the World Under-8 Championship. And this was a Wonders Trophy. I'm in the back. I played in the U18 Championship. I finished in 9th. It was my only time playing the World Youth. There's Jeffrey. And then how many players became a GM? Rufeng Li is GM. Josiah Stearman, I think, has most of his GM norms. Yeah, this was like 13 years ago. It was actually Thanksgiving 2011. Anyway, blast from the past. There's a question, what was the point of King F1? I can try and answer that. Yeah, it's to defend the bishop. I might be able to get by without playing King F1, but I was scared of, let's say I play this, takes, and then black might have discoveries. For example, knight takes e5. And then my bishop's hit. So with the king on f1, it would be all under control. In such a position, it's nice to have time to play these preparatory defensive moves. I have played the password game before. I went through a phase of like spending a few hours on it, and then eventually I don't think I beat it. But I was watching the YouTube videos of like how people speedrun it. I am using Google Photos, so I can like search the name of someone and then it uses face recognition. I can also search an animal. Like let's type in emu. Let's find all my emu photos. Okay, this brings up a kangaroo. Two kangaroos playing chess. But here's the emu. Unless that's an ostrich. Anyway, should I go back to chess? Any tips for getting better at blitz? Blitz is a combination of like tactical sharpness, intuition. A good opening repertoire will definitely help, like save time early, and then allow you to get positions that you're comfortable with. Also helps to have a tricky opening repertoire. Opponent's playing pretty quickly here. Avoiding the queen trade. Probably go for f3, e4. Maybe this h-pawn advance. I think I have to take h5. Take 6, queen f6. I take... I could also take with pawn. I want to play rook h5, target this pawn. Hmm. The king is safest on a1. c3? No. I think I have to play a3. Looks risky, but it's interesting. I think I just blundered. just enough time. It's so tricky to actually crack through the position. I'm not sure if I missed something earlier. Just enough time there. Welcome to Rubik's Cube. In case you missed it, it was a long fight. I managed to win. That's a good position. Engine says F3. At some point I was just worse. I'm just scanning to see if I missed any like obvious wins, which doesn't seem like I did. Okay, here it's completely winning. I missed bishop h5. Bishop h5 takes? Bishop f7! Oh no, my queen, I'm threatening mate. Oh, that'd be nice. In these moments, like when I'm so low on time, I see this, and then I stop calculating. But if I have more time, or if I'm more tactically sharp, maybe I would see bishop f7. I did see him on Hamilton's greatest checkmate. Yeah, it was pretty great. Okay, should I play another? Let's do one more. I'm 17 points away from my peak. I've peaked at 28.14 about a year ago. A couple weeks ago, I was 28.13. I think that was last week, actually. It was like during Title Tuesday. Thank you, Diafarin, gifting to Dr. Poopies. I appreciate that. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it's been a while since I've looked at this. One of like the sharpest lines in Taimanov. Of course, I don't remember anything. Okay. Some G5 and F5 idea. Go. Let's go. That's how you break 2800. Oh, what a crazy game. What a crazy game. Went for the mating attack. Oh, man. Oh, okay. I think I want to end it there. It was an insane game. And this is like one of the most difficult lines to understand in the Taimanov. I was prepared through, I think through h5. I was already kind of forgetting around here. And this is really just the beginning of all the complexities. There is a line, it's actually a nice trap. If white plays e5 too early, then takes, and b4 is very strong for black. I mean, I remembered this b4 idea in this position, and then it seemed like white was super well prepared. Like they spent 10 seconds to get to this position, blitzed out f5. And I just kind of had to not burn too much time, even though I did burn too much time. Queen f4 was a good find. But it's so chaotic. Like there's so many things happening with this knight almost being trapped, this knight out of play, might be 6 ideas, but some pawns being weak.
Hi.
Like g2 is a blunder. Hello to Phileas. Yeah, when I took on g2, it looks like the knight's just getting trapped, but I saw this counterattack. And the knights control all these squares, so the rook's gonna have to move back, and I have f4 square. Apparently white can start by taking. And then after takes, here d5 doesn't work because there's takes. So things like this are easy to miss in blitz. And then, yeah, then I was feeling good. I just burned too much time. I had 42 seconds at this point. And when I played this, I got excited because it looks like I'm trapping the rook. And at first, it looks like the only safe square is this, but that blocks a bishop, and I mate. But white has this move. And black's still doing well, but okay, 22 seconds to try and win this position. It was not easy. I really just should have flagged. But somehow, yeah, so here I was like thinking, okay, maybe I have some perpetual type ideas. But once the king walked up, yeah, now there's like already a mating attack. 3 seconds to get the mate down. Okay. I'll end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. There was a lot of chess today. Ending the day rated 2805. I think I started the stream rated like 2750. So I got a lot of chess between Title Tuesday and the after party. Also got some nice instruction. I hope I was able to answer some people's questions. Appreciate all the good vibes. All the people subscribing and resubscribing.